welcome back. On this episode we are going to do some engine work and some gearbox work, getting ready to fit it in the hole. Last week we painted the front end and done the shock mounts for the rear. Since then I've fitted the diff, the front arms as well. As you can see, I've got to bolt the diff in yet. And like I said last week, I was going to put this supporting bar in here. Now that is if there's any kind of hard impact to this mount, then the pressure will go up and then distribute itself around the rest of the car. So that's what we've done. Put some gussets in through the side as well, both sides, and finished off the rear X. I've got to do a stay and a couple of gussets in there, and that's pretty much then the tube work done. But for now we are going to get this off. Now this is an ls3 crate, so brand spanker, never run. There's a couple of bits I've got to do to it first. I've put different manifolds on it, which I think it's this side. As you can see, it doesn't quite hit the head, and that is because it is hitting part of the block down there. So we'll give that a bit of a clearance in. I've put a different sump on it at the minute. It is only a couple of bolts in there, but I've got to pull that off, put the oil pickup on it, the different flex plate. We've got the 4L80E transmission that has been converted to full manual. Don't have to do anything to that. That is a recon new box, or so I've been told. So that's got to be left alone. This transfer box, now I bought this second hand, and there's some bolts and stuff missing, so I just want to pull the bottom off it, have a quick ganders inside. And we've also got our shocks, coilovers in amongst it all as well, but that is for another day. Now, like any good diesel forklift, you need glow plugs, and we have glow plugs. So this is a bit of a tired old girl, so we need to warm the inlet manifold up first. And there she goes. Right, so there we have it in all its glory. So we're going to try and spin him under. Okay. So we've got to pop the sump off. Compression. Now what I'm going to do is kind of crack the bolts off for the con rods. Reason being that I've heard a lot of people discuss that these new engines have problems with these bolts not being torqued to the correct spec. So being that I've seen a few people mention about it, it's just something that's kind of a peace of mind. Crack them off and then just re-torque them. It's an easy job whilst it's at the car. So now that's all torqued up, we can put everything back together. Right, so now that job's done, we can have a look at the manifold. Now, it's just keeping itself just away from a bit of casting. You can just see there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off that bit of casting. And then that will help that sit down a bit better. There we have it. They are missing. Now, the reason that this manifold doesn't fit isn't the fact that it wings its way all the way from China, but they're meant for the opposite head. So this one should be that side. But it doesn't suit what I want, so that's why it sits there. Now, this is the transfer I'm using. Atlas 2-speed box. I can't remember what the ratio of it is. I've got it written down somewhere, but nevertheless, this is how I bought it. Apart from this part, we've had this made because the adapter from the 4L80 to this is right, but the shaft length's too long. Now a couple of people have told me to cut the end of the shaft down, but that would mean I'd get less splines inside here, so I didn't really want that. So I've got a company kind of round the corner to knock us a spacer up. These two bits here are the controls for high-low, and you can put it to front wheel or rear wheel drive, depending on what you want, or constant four wheel. But when I did get it, I had all these bolts missing and the bung. I haven't even looked to see if I've got any bolts for it, but let's pop the cover off and have a look. Snap one will be proud. Quite a result on this one. Oh, I think it's got some hardcore silicone in there. Wowzers. So there we have it. It does look fairly clean in there. So these are your selectors. So that's front only now. Right, now we can't seal it up because I haven't got no bolts. I thought these were a standard M8, but because it's American, no such luck. So I'll have to pop down the nut and bolt shop tomorrow to get the bolts for that. Now onto the gearbox. Like I said earlier, I don't need to do any work to this. Prior to me owning it, it's had a full strip rebuild with heavy duty clutch packs, converted to full manual, so it's taken all the electrics out of it. A bit of me wanted the electrics originally, so I can run like a CompuShift type of thing, but this is what came up. It was at the right money, so that's what we've got. Torque converter, billet torque converter. This come with the gearbox. I don't know what stall rating it is. This is just going to be put it in there and see what happens. Now, what I do need to do is, because I've changed the flex plate on the engine, I need to find out whether this mates to it. So what we need to do is put the torque converter in, measure across the flat surface to our bolt holes, and then from there we'll see what the distance is off the flex plate. When fitting a torque converter, make sure it goes in all the way. So you've got kind of 3 clicks as such. There's 2 splines to go in, and then you've got the oil pump. Now, if none of it's lined up properly, it will cause damage. When we converted our old forklift to a diesel, that was one thing that we didn't do. Never put the torque converter in correctly, and in turn drove the oil pump through the back of the gearbox, and then the forklift was then scrapped. Also, whilst checking this is another lesson that we've learned the hard way. Taking these measurements are pretty crucial. If you don't have it right, either the torque converter will be too far out, so it won't be running fully on the oil pump. Again, you won't get the engagement, no oil pump, no oil circulating the box, and it will just damage it. And again, if you've got it too far in, you'll push the oil pump through the back. We've done a 1UZ many years ago, and it was out. Luckily, all it done was caught the starter motor, so when you started the car up, it actually bent the flex plate and ran on the starter. So let's go and get a measuring device. So, flat edge. Turn it so that we can pick up one of the bolt holes, and then we're measuring from this surface up to the bolt. So that is 26 mil. Now, what you want really is a 3 mil difference, and then when you bolt this up, this will just pop out a couple of mil, 3 mil. So there's no pressure on anything. So we'll go over to the engine and give that a measure. So I've already put the flywheel on. So this is where we're measuring from, these bolt holes. So our straight edge goes between the two, and they're up against the bolt holes there, and then we're measuring now to this face, which that comes at 18 mil. So we've got quite a gap between the two. So that's 6-8 mil difference. Now, if we bolted this up and we pulled it out, then obviously we're going to pull the torque converter out of the oil pump. So there's a couple of ways around it. There's either you can space these holes out so we can bring this out further, or there be a spacer for here, which will bring the whole flywheel out. Now, at the minute, I don't know which way to go about it, because obviously when the starter's bolted in, I don't know whether the throw of the starter, so this may have to come outward a bit, but I will do some research and hopefully I'll be able to get that sorted, and then I can get this bolted together next week. That's it for this episode. Haven't got as much done as I was expecting to get done, but these things happen. Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm going to try and get the nuts and bolts sorted next week and sort out the flex plate issue. And then during the week, I'm going to finish doing a bit of the cage work. So the stay, like I said earlier, I've got a couple of brackets that I want to just put in the floor, ready to mount the floor, the belly plate to. It's just going to be a lot easier to do it now whilst it's like this. And then next weekend, hopefully, we will put the engine and gearbox in the hole. So that's it. We shall see you then. Bye.